Hello and welcome to another session of Show Your Mix, our regular workshop here live from HOFA Studios, where you can send us our mixes and we will listen to them and provide some helpful feedback. My name is Steffen, I'm a tutor here at HOFA-College, and right next to me is Mr. Jochen Weyer.
Hi and welcome.
So yeah, if you attend these workshops on a regular basis, you know the drill. If you are new here, that's no problem. You can send us your mixes via email at showyourmix@hofa.de. Please provide them as a high quality MP3 data or send us a WeTransfer link with a lossless file. Just we need something that we can import in our DAW. So please don't send any Spotify or SoundCloud links. And yeah, did I forget anything?
No, I think
okay,
that's it.
Then let's just start. We already have some submissions here. So let's take a look. Who's our lucky number one?
Okay, I'm curious.
Okay, we have the song La Bruja von José Gonzalez. And it seems to be a rock song.
Okay, so, I have to change the sample rate. I hope you don't mind, but my project is in 44.1. Okay, and it's a master track already. This is clear. And while I start the analysis, we can start listening. Maybe a few words about that. The file is mastered, so I put down the volume a little bit, like 6 or 7 dBs, so that if there's any track, the next one which is not mastered, it won't be much quieter. So don't worry about the levels between the different songs and different mixes. Okay, let's start. You ready?
Yes.
The witch is coming, it's coming away. 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 The witch is coming all the way. No one's running, no one can. We'll catch you along the way. No one's hiding. The witch is coming. It's coming away. The witch is coming. It's coming away.
So we won't go through the whole song, just drop at the main spots and let me jump. Maybe there's a next chorus or a solo, something like that. What did I say?
There it is.
All right. That's a nice one for the first song.
Yeah, very,
Great.
very groovy,
Yeah.
indeed.
especially in the intro. Yeah, great stuff. I like the guitar work very much. Well played and well sounding guitars, in my opinion. I like the not too heavy distortion on the guitars. They sound great to me. I'm not sure if there are any real amps or real tube stuff on that recording, but doesn't matter. It sounds pretty good to me for that song. As a whole, the mix is very balanced. I like that. The levels are well set, very musically and balanced. But there are some things that I would like to say about the drum sound, which doesn't sound bad, but in my opinion, it's a little bit too rocky, too heavy for that genre. The kick drum is rather clicky and very, very stable. I think it's the same sample all the time, and the same is true for the snare, which is very steady and undynamic. And so maybe you could add a little bit more of human touch to the drum programming, which I think it is. And that's a weak point of the mix and of the song, that it's a little bit too flat. There's a lot of interesting stuff happening, especially with the guitars. I like the solo. I like the little slide guitar you're doing there, and all the fills. They are great, but the mix and the mastering is very, very tight and dense and compressed. Maybe you could. It's not a thing of mixing, I think, but rather change the dynamics of the arrangement a little bit. Get more different velocities on the drum programming and a little bit more dynamics on the vocals. But on the other hand, the sound of everything is pretty good. There's nothing that is overemphasized or nothing that is too weak. The bass range is fine. The control in the bass is fine. The technical side of the mix is well done. There's nothing to complain about, and that's the main point that I wrote down, I think. What did you think, Stefan?
Kind of the same. I wrote down many points that you already stated there. I also noticed the drums. They sounded not bad, but that's mainly because it's obviously samples, which isn't a bad or a bad thing in general. It's always some people just shame people who use drum samples, but that's not necessary. But yeah, they sounded a bit artificial for that song, and so just. I would invest a bit more time in the drum programming, or even in finding some other more fitting samples for that style of music, which are not as clicky and polished, I might say, as they are in this mix. Another thing I noticed that is the bass, actually. Not sure it works in the mix, but I could imagine a bit it to be a bit quieter. Just a little bit. It works, but and I guess that's more a matter of taste in this case, because it actually plays a very important rhythmic role in this mix. And yeah, that's basically it. Very balanced, very interesting. I kind of expected Spanish lyrics with the song title, but yeah.
It's
very nice.
It's international. It's for the global market. No, it would work. It's there are some bands who do that style and pretty successful do that style. Can work. I wish you good luck with that. So I think that's it for this mix. Great stuff. Great start into the workshop. So put this one out. And what shall I do the next one?
Let's check. What do we have here? We have the song with the title Pieces by Simon Schlager.
There it is,
yeah. It's an alternative or indie folk song. inspired by artists like Novo Amor, Bon Iver, and the Lumineers. I'd love to know what do you think about the C part. Okay, there's a part we should focus on.
Okay. This seems to be also mastered in a way, but it's not as loud as the song before. Let me check this. And what is it? 3 minutes long. Okay. Yeah. Let's start, okay?
Yes.
Waiting here on this wrecked floor. Few old memories covered in dust. This old house feels empty now. No fire burning, the lights are out. I can't see you anymore. This day is just too far away.
That was me.
Is searching for what I forgot.
It's up to you.
Okay, let's start. Beautiful. That's kind of the first thing that comes to mind. It's very atmospheric. I actually got goosebumps right away. I like the song. But still, there are some things I noticed. For example, when it comes to the vocals, the one thing I noticed was the reverb. I thought it was a bit short, and therefore sounded a bit artificial and not quite fitting the atmosphere of the song. So you could probably work with a longer reverberation time and just to keep it more natural and atmospheric in this case. Same goes for the solo guitar. You said we should especially look at the C part, and yeah, it's a great idea just to give some kind of highlight of the song, to use a distorted guitar, something that was never just not expected in an atmospheric song like this. And it kind of works, but on the other hand, it was a bit too much, at least in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Just a bit, I don't know how to say. It was just a bit too much, I'd say. You could use For my taste, also the reverb was a bit short and also a bit loud. Therefore, the guitar was a bit indirect. Yet again, you could work with a longer reverberation time or even with a delay, and just go full post rock with this one to give this just a bit more atmosphere and natural feel to it. Yeah, that's it for me. So
All
what do you
right.
got to add?
Yeah. First, let me say that I also really like the songwriting and the performance of the artists. It's very atmospheric, very ambient, very nice feel in the song. Great melody, great harmonies too. But there are some technical things mainly, I would like to say. Some things Stefan already said. For me, the C part for which you asked, it's a little bit too abrupt. It starts like coming out of nowhere, and maybe you should prepare it a little bit more. That's more of an arrangement thing than it's about mixing, but it could be a little bit more, not out of the blue, but just build it up a little bit more during the song. That's for the C part. Nonetheless, I like the guitar in this part, especially the feeling building up and getting more energy and getting building up and building up to a certain point and then going down again. That's rather nice. I like that very much. But you should definitely care a little bit more about the tuning of your instruments and your vocals. I know it's not pop and it's not mainstream, but check out your intonation of vocals and the solo guitar. It's a little bit too much out of tune sometimes to me, in my ears at least. Maybe I'm spoiled, but I think it could be a little bit tighter, better in tune, and it wouldn't disturb. A second thing, and that's another technical issue again. Watch your face. It's really very, very much out of phase and very wide and stereo, especially on the guitar. When you listen to the guitar in the beginning and in the end, if you switch to mono, there's not much left. And even though mono compatibility is not such an issue as it was before, like when people listened on mono speakers, but I don't like it if it's too wide and too stereo, and especially if you listen to that on a nice pair of stereo speakers, it's like that, and the speakers are here and the signal is somewhere out there beyond the speakers, and I don't like that. Just maybe my personal thing, but watch your face, even especially when you think about releasing that song on vinyl. It shouldn't be that wide and that stereo. Okay, let me say something about the drum sound, which I really liked in the C part. That's kind of ambient, roomy, and a little bit not too perfect, not too polished drum sound. I like that. It's nice. I couldn't tell the difference between the different drum sounds, like bass drum and tom and snare, whatever it is. It's all like, but great. It works fantastic in this song, and I like the room sound of the drum set, whether it was a real one or samples. I couldn't tell, but I don't care. It sounds great. I like the way you did the drum mix in that part. Yeah, and everything else is nice. I like the atmosphere at least, and that's the most important thing there. The musical side is, if we set the tuning thing aside, the musical side of the mix and the song and everything, the performance is great, and that's why it's working so fine.
Absolutely.
And keep it up. It's great song, and a good mix. Focus on that little technical issues, and then go on. Keep it up. Great work. All right.
Yes, so let's check for some another submissions from you. If you have any questions in the chat, feel free to ask.
Right. And I would like to say one more thing. Sorry. Yeah, feel free to send in your songs. We don't pick it up from the time they're coming in, but it's completely random, the songs we choose. So send in until we pick up your song, and if it's not taken this time, try it next time. Doesn't matter. So, which one shall I choose?
Let's check. We have one from Owen Langer with the title Heart's Desire.
All right.
And it seems to be a crossover with elements from pop, rock, and jazz, and even some electronic elements. That sounds very interesting. So, yeah, yet another master track, I guess.
Yeah, it seems so. And it's a bit longer than the songs before, 5.5 minutes. Okay, yeah. So let's start. It's a rather long intro. Maybe I will jump in between. Yeah, Owen. I guess something like that was expected from you. That was a impressive performance, like Jose wrote in the chat.
Yeah.
Wow. Chapeau. So let me start maybe by saying that not too long ago you sent in a song to analysis at the HOFA-College, and we checked it, a colleague of mine and me, and I like that much better, the mix especially, but also the song, and it's really very impressive. And some things I didn't like in the first mix last time. This one is much more balanced and has a clearer hierarchy. The things for the listeners are easier to follow. I could tell this one is a leading melody. The instruments, they blend with each other, but they do not mask each other too much, and that's a great thing. The performance is outstanding, both of all the instrumentalists and the vocals. Saxophone is great. Guitar work is outstanding. I think the drums are real, or at least you programmed your ass off. That's I think it's a real drum set, but at least a real drummer. And yeah, not much to say about the mix. Reverbs are fine. Maybe a little bit blurry low end, because there's a lot of stuff happening in the very, very low end, especially in the intro, but also in the normal part, the bass drum, keyboard, low end bass, the low frequencies of the guitars. Maybe you could clean that up a little bit more, but on the other hand, it sounds rather powerful and homogeneous as a whole, and so that's working fine for me. Maybe you could do something about the reverb of the saxophone. I think it's still a little bit detached from the rest of the mix. It could use a little bit more reverb to make it a bit more, not that direct and not that much in your face, but maybe that's also a kind of artificial and artistic and creative decision to do it like that. And so not much I would change in that mix. Maybe it would sound different if I'd mix it, but I don't know if it would be better. I think you understand the song and from a musical side very much, so this is the way it's supposed to sound, I think. So good stuff. Watch the very, very low, and maybe we can see it on the analyzer. For maybe the control room can show the analyzer. There are in the beginning frequencies at what is it? 23 hertz. So I didn't hear it on the headphones, of course, but that's very low, and maybe put a low cut on the very, very low end for that issues. But that's it. Stefan?
Okay, that's going to be interesting because I don't agree with everything you said.
Okay.
I agree with that this was an outstanding and artistically almost perfect performance. The instruments sounded very well. The arrangement is pretty good, but in my opinion, it's a bit too full. It's just when the low strings and the guitars just, at least in my ears, they fight a bit too much with each other in the low frequencies as well as in the arrangement. It was sometimes hard for me to follow. Not sure if that's just me or if it's just and if I just don't understand your artistical vision, and if it's that's my bad, and it's completely fine. But I still think that there have to be you should make some sacrifices in terms of clear and structured hierarchy of the instruments, because I felt that especially with the lower strings and the guitars was hard to follow for me. I don't know how to put it in a different way. Even if the performance was really, really, really good, that would be my main point. Also, since I got some strong, I don't know, polyphia or unprocessed vibes from more modern, I don't know, progressive metal influences, which actually have this style of clean, heavily compressed, clean lead guitars. I felt that they could be even more upfront, but that's the guitarist in me speaking, probably. So, yeah. Don't have anything to add, just that. Just a bit more structure in the hierarchy. That's all.
Yeah, maybe it's I was overwhelmed by the sheer mass of everything. It's I couldn't say I followed everything, because I think you could listen to that song and a few times and find new things each time. But
yes,
I really like the way it sounds, I must say. And as I said, I would mix it differently, but I don't know if I'd mix it better. So I like it.
Yeah, me too. So that settles it for that song. I hope you're happy with that feedback, Owen. So yeah, let's see what we got. We have a song with the title "Kissin' When We're Mad." And it states it's a final master. It's by Louise O'Connell. It's a pop or dance track, and he says that he really tried to keep the song interesting, but he's not sure if it worked and if we have any tips. So yeah, let's see.
Okay. Kissin' When We're Mad. Okay. Okay, it starts pretty quiet, and then it's louder in the louder parts. Okay, let's see.
Baby, I love you, and I know I don't say it enough. Or maybe I do, and I should stop saying it so much. Do I dilute it when I overuse it? Make the whole word useless. Words are fucking stupid. You hate it when I use them. They make things more confusing. Maybe I should kiss you when we're mad, 'cause talking never really seems to last. Maybe I should hold your hand in traffic, even when we both are being drastic. Move past it. Maybe I should kiss you when we're mad. 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 Maybe I should kiss you. It's only good. Do I dilute it when I overuse it? Make the whole word useless. Words are fucking stupid. You hate it when I use them. They make things more confusing. Maybe I should kiss you when we're mad, 'cause talking never really seems to last. Maybe I should hold your hand in traffic, even when we both are being drastic. Move past it. Maybe I should kiss you when we're mad. 'Cause maybe I should kiss you when we're mad. 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 Maybe I should kiss you when we're mad. 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 Maybe I should kiss you when we're mad. should stop and rub your back. Maybe I should hold your hand in traffic. Even when we both been being drastic, move past it. Maybe I should kiss you when we're mad.
Okay. I'd say you succeeded in keeping the song interesting.
Definitely.
Very poppy, very catchy. It also kind of worked for me that you left the vocals kind of dry in the verses. Yet still, especially in the second one, I felt they sounded a bit too isolated. So just a small amount of reword goes a long way, just to keep everything glued together a bit more evenly. Yes. What else? Yeah, let's keep talking about the vocals. Actually, the performance was great. I liked it. Also, the effect vocals, the effects you used on the vocals were pretty nice. But in my opinion, the effect vocals should actually be used as an additional effect, just as the little pinch of salt in the mix. And therefore, I think they should be a bit quieter and not as stable as they are. You could even work with automation, just keep them coming in until you come to the next drop or something. Yeah, apart from that, Jose wrote in the chat that the snare's pretty cool. I kind of agree and I kind of disagree with that, because what I missed was the snare on its own. It sounds pretty good, but in combination with the bass drum, it sounds a bit out of place. So what I'm trying to say is that I'm missing some kind of concept in the drums. Either you go full electronic or you go more the acoustic way. And even though both samples work great on their own, I don't think that they match perfectly in this case. So either I decide either to use another bass drum that sounds more natural and more acoustically, or I'd go with a more artificial snare drum in this case.
And I think it's rather loud. It's very much in front of everything, and I think it takes a little bit too much place in the mix for the snare. That's what I wrote down. However, so
yeah.
You're done? Or,
yeah, I guess, yeah.
Okay. I like the song very much. Again, it's been 4 songs today, and everyone is great on in their own way, and nice, really excellent work on that. But this one again, some technical issues. First, and very much foremost, compression on the vocals. Wow, that's something. And even though it's very poppy and you can use compression for a heavy, filtered and strong and dense and tight sound, but I don't know if it should be audible like that. It's really completely squashed together, and I hear everything. I hear every blister on your lips and every knicks and knacks and stuff, and it sounds too compressed. I appreciate the approach to go for a very intimate and tight and dense sound, but it's too much, especially in combination with the EQing. There's a very loud high end in the vocals up to 15K, and then the MP3 cuts it off. Maybe it's also due to the conversion into an MP3. It's in 160 kilobit that the mix sounded a bit technical in the high end, especially, and the vocals are very loud in the high end, so maybe that makes the sound a bit too sharp and too aggressive and too technical in that approach. And in that regard, I do like the filtered effects, but as Stefan said, maybe not as loud and not as in your face as you made it. But still, they sound great and they keep the song interesting. So it's not that you should change everything in that regard. Something I would like to say again, like I did in a song before. Watch the face. The stereo image of your mix is very, very wide, and some instruments on the piano especially, and the acoustic guitar sometimes too. Sometimes a little bit out of phase, not for the whole mix, but for some instruments. Maybe let me check the side. Yeah, the side is almost as loud as the mid side in some parts, and especially the high end here in the peaks when the vocals are singing or the guitars are playing are rather loud and a little bit too strong. But that's mainly the piano and the guitar. So keep an eye on the goniometer or your frequency goniometer and the IQ analyzer, and that's about the technical side. I talked about the drums, and everything else I liked it very much. I like the vocals and the piano and keyboard arrangement. And the feel of the song. Make it the sound a little bit less technical, and great stuff.
Yeah.
What do you think? One more song? We should
know.
stop actually, but let's do
a bit.
another one.
Yeah, just do
one more.
Let's take another one.
Okay.
So let's check what we have left. Okay, there's a song called Play With Me. It's a pop song with electro and dubstep elements. And Nico stated that he produced it for a friend and that she wanted it to sound a little extra. Very curious what extra means in this case.
In this case, it's extra loud, I think. Wow.
Okay.
It at least looks very loud. So
okay.
Let's listen. That's a thing that counts.
Wishing on you from miles away, but you would never know. Wondering if you're sound and safe. I couldn't let you go. I lost my love for you. I'm ready to dead it. I lost my love for you. I get the message. Whatever you thought it was. 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 You was tryna play me like that new yay. You was tryna play me like it's FIFA. You was tryna play me like it's 2K. You was tryna play me like it's GTA. But I play no games, no games. Said I play no games, no.
Okay, let me jump.
I am not her. I play no games. I am not a game. 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 I'm a gangster. I'm a prosper. I'm a shooter with my shotters. I'm a big wave. I'm a big G bitch and I'm big paid. You was tryna trying to front like I'm not beautiful. You was trying to front like I'm not from round the way. You was trying to front like I don't. I lost my love for you. I'm ready to day. I lost my love for you. What we thought it was. 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 What we thought it was.
Okie dokie. Nice one. Again.
Very high quality today.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe you're too good out there for you don't need us anymore. Well, great song, great arrangement, sound-wise, great sound design. There's not much I could say on criticism, but you should watch for the vocal sound in terms of sibilants, the S and sh and stuff like that. They are really loud. Maybe you can use a de-esser or a dynamic EQ to fix that. Another thing is, but that's more of a arrangement and setup thing. I think it's too homogeneous, maybe not, but too uniform throughout the whole song. I really was I was caught with the first notes and the beginning, and the verse was great, and then after 1 minute and 2 and 3 minutes, I couldn't exactly tell which was the chorus part of the song, which one was a verse, and everything sounded a little bit too uniform. And you should work on making the different parts sound more different and not use all the effects all the time and use all the sounds all the time, but keep a little bit more diversity in the mix and in the arrangement. But sound-wise, most of the stuff is great. The effects are great. The reverbs are very, filling and deep, and the sound is very ambient and has a great dimensionality. And I do like the effects you're using, but use them a little bit more. Just here and there and in certain spots and not all the time. The sound is and the mix is great. It's very loud with 8.1 LUFS, but I think it can be that loud in that genre. It needs to be that loud probably, but still try to make it a little bit more interesting with the dynamics. Put stuff in and out again and turn things on and quieter and louder again and more dynamics in the arrangement and in the mix, and then it's great. Up to you.
Yes, I don't have that much to add. It sounds very atmospherical, it's very very interesting. So it sounded a bit extra, and that's not in any negative way. But there's something I missed, and that's some minor breathing noises. I just felt that the vocals sounded very... the absence of any breathing noises or something just sounded a bit artificial. And I felt that every time the vocal kicked in after silence, it sounded a bit hard. So I don't know if you gated them, if you just cut them free of any breathing noises, but I kind of miss that because I like humans singing. That might sound a bit harsh now, but it just goes a long way to keep some natural feeling in a electronic song. Another thing is just I really like the vocal synth, the vocoder effects. I really like that. It just fits the song. But as Jochen already said, I kind of lost the point where we are in the song at some point, because the intro is pretty atmospherical, but it just misses some strong highlights. You can go even bigger in the arrangement at some points. It just hit the brakes a bit more, just to keep parts after, just to make the drops a bit more, a bit stronger. And yeah, just one thing I thought that was a bit too loud in the mix was these glitchy kind of scratching effects in the first verse. It was also a bit odd in timing. I felt some time.
I think that was intentional.
Okay,
I hope.
Yeah, that's debatable, I guess. But, yeah, if you're going for odd time signatures, go for it. Just keep in mind, if you're doing pop, guess the mainstream could be irritated by that, but yet again, that's a matter of taste. And I guess that concludes this session of Show Your Mix.
Exactly.
We really enjoyed listening to your mixes. As we already said, quality of was pretty high today, and
Absolutely.
It's great to see and great to hear you make awesome and such diverse music. And yeah, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, keep it up. Keep making music. It's the best we can do in these days, and it's great to hear that interesting and lovely and diverse music out there. Keep it up. Keep joining our channel and keep watching Show Your Mix. If you're interested in anything from HOFA-College, like audio engineering courses and stuff like that, visit us at hofa-college.com or hofa-college.de. And yeah, see you next time. Have a nice Thursday evening, and see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.